welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 10 really cool and creative ways on how you can entertain the kids at home. I thought this would be a really good video to make because we are now on week 12 in quarantine, I believe. So I'm really hoping this video provides you with some cool ideas and inspiration on other ways that you can play with your kids. And if you do like this type of content, I've actually made so many videos like this in the past. I've made videos on how to entertain a 6-month-old, a 1-year-old, a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old. So I'll link all of those previous videos in the description down below. And if you do like this type of content, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you. And don't forget to give this video a big like if you liked it. And without further ado, let's get into how to entertain your kids. So the first activity that I'm going to show you today involves Lego. All of my children love playing with Lego and they're so creative with it, but sometimes it's nice to have a purpose and an idea of what you're building. So we've recently started making Lego Ziplines. So basically for this, you build a little cable car and you can also put a Lego man inside it, then snap it onto a piece of string, or as you can see here, we're using our washing line in the garden. And then you can just let your little cable car go down the zip line. This is so much fun and the boys love doing it for ages. You can make all different types of cable cars. Sometimes we'll do it for 2 little Lego men, sometimes for 1, like you can see here. And it also teaches them about gravity and how the line needs to be positioned to work. And this doesn't have to be an outdoor game. You could easily use a piece of string indoors, attach it to a doorknob or something like that, and play this game inside if it's a rainy day. Next up, I wanted to show you a really cool little science experiment. This is how to make a DIY lava lamp at home. And this is something that we saw on Facebook and really wanted to recreate because my middle son loves science experiments, and you may already have all the ingredients that you're going to need at home. So all you're going to need is a 1/4 cup of water, some food coloring, vegetable oil, and an Alka-seltzer tablet. That tablet is going to be what activates all of it, so it's quite important. But it's really, really simple. All you do is fill up a glass about halfway with oil, then add in a 1/4 cup of water, and of course the water and the oil are going to separate. Then add in some food coloring. It could be any color, but we wanted it to look like lava, so we used red, and we added about 10 to 20 drops of food coloring. And then all you have to do then is add the Alka-seltzer tablet, and that is going to be fizzing up, and it's going to create the whole lava lamp experience. This is so cool. It really is like mesmerizing. It only lasts about 5 or so minutes, but for those 5 minutes, like, the kids were so excited. They loved it, and we actually ended up doing it a few times with a few different colors, and they still talk about it now. They really, really think it was so cool. So this is definitely a really good one to try, and if you do this at home with your kids, I would also recommend filming it on your phone on the slow-mo mode so that they can then watch it back and see it all over again. As you can see from Jackson's little face, he really loved it. Another experiment which uses similar ingredients to the one that I just showed you is called fireworks in a glass. This one is super simple and fun to do as well. So all you do is put a small amount of oil into a glass and then add in different drops of food coloring. Once you've added in all the food coloring, you'll want to give it a really good stir, and that kind of breaks up the food coloring into very tiny little bubbles within the oil. Then pour that oil on top of a glass of water, and you'll see that the oil rises to the top. And then what happens is the food coloring in the oil starts to separate from it, and it comes down like this, and it creates these little fireworks. It lasts for quite a long time as well, and it's pretty cool, so I wanted to show you it. And I would say that my kids' favorite game to play at home together is The Floor is Lava. You can play this anywhere, anytime. It's completely free. It's so easy, and they love it. Like, all 3 of my boys, being different ages, they just have so much fun doing this. So what I tend to do is give them like a course to make. So I'll say to them, get yourself from the couch to the slide in the garden without touching the lava. And then they have to build a course like this. They'll just use all different types of objects so that they can step on them. Yes, it's a bit messy. There's normally cushions everywhere, but they love it. They're not on the screens. They're all playing together really nicely. And it's also a great one if you ever need to get the kids up to the bath. If they really don't want to go, you can say, well, the floor is lava and you need to get from the living room to the bath without touching the lava, and then they will make an obstacle course and you will get them to the bath with no tears. So it's a really fun one, so I wanted to show you that. Now this next one seems a little bit extra, but bear with me because it's actually so simple to do and the kids really enjoyed it. So these are ice nature cupcakes, I guess I'll call them. So the next time you go out for a walk as a family, consider picking a few little flowers, ferns and leaves, anything really, and getting like a good variety of little bits of nature and taking them home with you. Then you can just line a cupcake case. We actually ended up making 6. So we just put a variety of different bits of nature into the cupcake case. And then you basically just pour some water over it and freeze that in the freezer. And as you can see, you then get these really cool ice cupcakes the next day. We've made these once before and Jackson really enjoyed playing with them in his outdoor kitchen. He's got like a little mud kitchen and he played with them in there, and they're really cool, especially on a hot day. They also just look really cool, like if you turn them over, like the way that the flowers and the ferns are positioned. It's just really interesting and exciting for them as well. Next up, I wanted to show you some marshmallow constellations. I found this really cool printable on Pinterest. So I just printed it out, and then all you need is some mini marshmallows and some toothpicks as well. And then your children can try and make the constellations out of the toothpicks and mini marshmallows. This is not only educational, but it's really fun and a good one to do after lunch because they will definitely end up eating some of the marshmallows. My youngest son, he didn't really make the constellations, but he did make a little house. And then they also started making stars and a hot air balloon. So they were getting really creative. And I'm really recommending this one because when I did this with the boys, for some strange reason, my 3 boisterous boys were so very calm the whole time they were playing this. They were sat at the table. I couldn't believe how quiet they were. So it was something they were really concentrating on and they really enjoyed. I also really wanted to show you my favorite DIY Play-Doh recipe. This is only 2 ingredients. All you're going to need is corn flour and hair conditioner, and you can also use some food coloring if you want to tint it or give it a bit of a color, but it is super simple to make. All you do is 2 parts corn flour, or I think it's called cornstarch in Canada and America, to 1 part hair conditioner. So I tend to do 2 cups of corn flour to 1 cup of the hair conditioner, and I just pick up whatever's on offer. You can go to Poundland and get a really big bottle of hair conditioner and just use that. It's also great because it gives it like another sensory element to it because it has a really nice smell. And I find whenever we play with this one with the kids, I actually have soft hands afterwards. So if you do want to add a color to the Play-Doh, it's important that you add the food coloring into the hair conditioner before you add it into the flour. Then you just really stir it up, or you can really knead it with your own hands, and then you can play with it. It's great. As I said, it smells really good. It's super soft and yeah, moisturizes your hands as well. And you can see Jackson, he just really loves it. I actually found this recipe once when I was stuck at home and I didn't have a car and I just wanted to make Play-Doh easily. So I found this recipe online and I've been making it ever since. It's super fun to play with, and you can also put it into Tupperware and save it for another day. And speaking of Play-Doh, I also wanted to show you how to make DIY surprise eggs just by using Play-Doh and some small toys that you already have. So we started making these for Fraser when he was little. He used to love to watch surprise egg videos on YouTube. He always wanted me to buy him surprise eggs, but then I found that the toys inside them were not always the best. So I just started making them up like this. So you basically just hide a small toy, or it could be Lego, or we're using Shopkins today. Just hide that into some Play-Doh and then give that to your little one to open and be surprised about. So now Fraser actually makes them for Jackson. As you can see here, he made him about 6 today and then gave them all to Jackson to open up. And it's so funny, although it's toys that you already have and they already know, when they open them up, they get so excited and they act really surprised, and it's such a fun one. And Jackson could even make them for me if he wanted to make me a surprise egg to open, and it's just a really good one. Obviously it's free as well, so that's always a plus. And the next one is so simple, I actually feel silly telling you it, but it keeps them so entertained that I had to share. We let the boys put their toy cars down the slide outside. So I basically bring out a stool and put the basket of cars on top of it, and that way Jackson can stand at the top of the slide and slowly put each car down the slide one by one. And we've recently started putting this little basket at the end so that they have something to try and get the cars into, but it also really helps with the clear up at the end. So then I can just pick up that basket, put it back in the other basket, and it just can keep going on, and I can chill out. I can just sit in the sun and watch them do this, and I'm sure it would work with dollies or teddies or anything that you have, but they just really love it. Another really simple one is to play hide and seek, but with the toys in the sandbox. So you can call this digging for treasure, or we call it hide and seek. So the boys will just go and close their eyes. I will hide various different little toys into the sandbox, and then they will come and try and find what I've hidden in the sandbox. This is one that we just invented because although we bought the sandbox, I felt like he wasn't really playing with it unless there were also like other toys in it. And obviously the element of surprise and hide and seek is just that bit more exciting. So this is a really good one, and one that they can play together as well. And the last activity that I'm going to show you today is a great memory game for your little ones. So super simple. All you need to do is collect 5 random objects or toys from around your house and then lay them out in front of your child and ask them to remember the objects. Then tell them to close their eyes, cover up the objects with a tea towel and take one of the objects away. And then when you take the tea towel away, ask them if they can see which object is missing. And it's just great, as I said, for memory, and it's also really fun as well. So this is great. I think I started doing this when my children turned about 2 years old, and you'll be surprised how much they can remember. Jackson ended up eating the banana while we were playing this, but anyway, I hope you really enjoy this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.